got candy! So soon. After all that trick-or-treating. What's that? Automatically refilled candy buckets? Welcome to College Success Coaching. I am Eric Allen. Let's do this. All right, everybody. So obviously, as you can see, I have infinity candy. I do not have just a little bit, and I didn't magically refill the buckets. That was a magic trick. It wasn't magical at all. I just didn't show you the top of the buckets. Anyway, really interesting thing. Surprising to me that kids really weren't trick-or-treating this year like they were even last year. And a lot of you guys didn't show up. Not a lot of freshmen, not a lot of young high schoolers. Nope. In case you couldn't tell, this is the mug of the week. Good day, sunshine. Life is good. What I like about this is, look at what the other side, this is what it says to me. I get the better message. Do what you love what you do. That's what I get to read all the time. You get to see life is good, which, like, obviously, I hope that's obvious. If that's not obvious to you, you can write at Eric Allen at collegesuccesscoaching.com. I kid, but seriously, life is good. And if you don't know that, we really do need to talk. So throw it up in the comments section. More than happy to find out what it is that makes you unhappy and think that life is not, in fact, good or great, as I like to think of it. Halloween's scary, though, this last week. I hope you guys all survived Halloween. I know that there were some of you who got attacked by eggs and toilet paper. One amazing toilet paper job was submitted to me by one of you, and it looked beautiful. Probably not so much when it rained, but nicely done to whoever the artist was behind that one. I myself showed you my costumes, and I did, in fact, go trick-or-treating. So I won the game of Halloween, and obviously I got tons of candy units, which I'm not going to eat. So today we're going to talk about things you can do with your Halloween candy, because you probably have too much, because you probably just bought some at the store instead of going trick-or-treating, because apparently that's not a thing anymore. We're also going to go over the article of the week, and we're going to talk about the rant of the week. Maybe we'll see if we get to it, and I will answer your questions. But yeah, let's stay tuned. So I want to start with a very special article of the week. And actually, what I would love to see is, I'm going to do a poll here. While I'm just looking things up, I want to see, do you have too much candy and don't know what to do with it? Yes or no. Those are the amazing questions and answers. I'm so good at making polls. You guys let me know. While that's going on, I am going to look at the article of the week, and I can copy and paste it here for you all. All right. You can get any candy? What, do you have a dentist for parents? So if you're watching this and you're the parents, what's going on? What are you doing? That makes no sense to me. I don't understand why you would do that. All right, so the article of the week is going to get posted right now, and then we'll officially announce it, and we'll kick off for all of our wonderful friends at YouTube. All right, it's sent. So if you're all ready, it's time for the article of the week. This week's article comes from The Atlantic. I always love that name. I do want to see what the Pacific is, though, because it's probably just the exact mirror of the articles in The Atlantic, or not at all. Trick-or-treating isn't what it used to be. Instead of going door to door on Halloween night, many parents are taking their kids elsewhere to get candy. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of why I chose this. Obviously, it's after Halloween. This was written on the 31st. And I just thought it would be important for us to talk about it. But it's going to tie into my rant of the week, which will hopefully give you some more context of why this bothers me so much. But anyway, nostalgia is a funhouse mirror. So any claims that back in my day, we went trick-or-treating until midnight with no parental supervision, while these kids are These kids these days are forced to make do with half an hour of nightly, highly supervised trick-or-treating before sunset are surely a distortion. Okay, so first of all, I'm not that old. We did go trick-or-treating in high school by ourselves in the local town where it was dark already, because we had to do it after school, because there was none of this nonsense of like, oh, we'll do trick-or-treating on Saturday, or we're all going to get off of school early so you can trick-or-treat between noon and 3. No, the community was not that organized. So this is like already front-loaded with a lot of cheese. Like, and by that, what I mean is, what are you talking about? I'm not 80 years old saying, where are you darn kids and your MP3s and your DVDs and your... I literally went with my friends trick-or-treating in the dark by ourselves. So not sure what this person's going for. Who is this person, by the way? Julie Beck. Well, Julie, we have to talk. I'm going to tell you about back in my day, which was really not that long ago. So anyway, let's get through the cheese and talk about this. Still, it seems like the tradition of going door to door demanding candy is not quite what it used to be for many U.S. families. Over the past couple of years, as Halloween has come and gone, low turnout in their neighborhoods has led people to wonder annually on social media if trick-or-treating is dying. Guys, is trick-or-treating dying? I mean, anecdotal, I guess, but I'm in a community where there's kids, and I had like 2. Local news outlets across the country have also reported anecdotal observations of fewer trick-or-treaters in their community. I always count how many trick-or-treaters we get. This guy. Bean counting trick-or-treaters. Like, woohoo! I want to hang out with this guy. Because my mom did that growing up. And we get fewer than 10 every year. In Silver Spring, Maryland, we have tons of kids in our neighborhood. Our lights are on and we have jack-o'-lanterns out and nobody really comes to our door. So, fair. Just to confess, I did not carve pumpkins this year. It didn't happen. I didn't have the time. I'm writing a book for you. I was doing a lot of things. I feel bad about that. Like right here. Actually, like right here. Anyway, that might be but we had the light on. And actually there was a bucket of candy. So I don't know. I don't buy it. So I'm with this Christina Wingard, the 30-year-old stay-at-home mom who lives in Silver Spring, Maryland, and apparently bean counts kids for trick-or-treating. It may well be that some of these observers just aren't around when local kids are trick-or-treating. No. Many cities have official trick-or-treating hours that may fall on a weekend rather than October 31st. Lame. Or which end in the early evening. Super lame. And as City Lab recently reported, okay, wait, hold on. You see those advertisements for those like glow stick skeleton costumes where like you could be, basically it was like pitch black and it absorbed light and then it had the outlines of skeleton or stick figures. They were amazing. It was like $90 for the costume. Yeah, because I looked it up. And they were cute for kids, but they were really funny looking and they could be really creepy too. How are you going to do that when you only trick or treat between noon and 3? I mean, there's nobody in the room to answer me, but I'm just asking in general, like, how does that even make sense? So anyway, all this bothers me, as you can tell, and we'll talk about it at the rant. Some towns even have ordinances forbidding teenagers to trick or treat, significantly cutting the eligible candy grubbing population. Well, that is just a terrible place to live. Shame. But there are some other forces that may be diverting kids away from the sidewalks and leading them to seek candy elsewhere. Ooh. What seems to be happening, to misappropriate the law of conservation of mass, is that the amount of trick-or-treaters remains the same. It's just that trick-or-treating itself is changing its shape. That's heavy. That's really heavy, Doc. Let's see what that means. According to data from the National Retail Federation's annual Halloween survey, the number of American adults who say they're planning to take their kids trick-or-treating has hovered around 30% since 2005. That's 13 years ago for those of you who aren't great at math. But the NRF... Wait, is that good math? Yeah, it's good math. Okay. But the NRF doesn't break that data down between parents and non-parents. What? So many of the respondents not planning on trick-or-treating may just not have kids. Indeed, a 2011 survey by the nonprofit Safe Kids Worldwide found that 73% of parents take their kids trick-or-treating, so the tradition is still going strong. Guys, I live in a community with parents that kids, and they have kids, and I don't think there are fewer kids trick-or-treating, says Leslie Bonatine, wrong. A historian of Halloween who's authored several books on the holiday. Well, I can't really hate. They write books on holidays. I think that they're trick-or-treating in different places. Where? Some of that, she suspects, has to do with changing neighborhoods. Americans are less likely to know and regularly interact with their neighbors than they were in previous decades, according to a 2015 analysis of the General Social Survey data. Fair, but that's been true for at least 20 years. So this is before 2005, because as we did the math before, that was 13 years ago, and I'm saying 20, so 7. You know what I'm saying. It's worth noting that the image of traditional trick-or-treating, costumed kids parading down sidewalks, hitting house after decorated house, has only ever really been endemic to American suburbs. No, it's not. I didn't live in the suburbs and we trick-or-treated. Kids who live in cities often trick-or-treat in apartment buildings and in rural areas where houses are more spread out. Banna Teen Time 10. Parties, she says, bonfires or other centralized gatherings are often more practical alternatives for families. No, because we lived in the country. Still trick-or-treated. We had people that literally got driven to our house, would walk up our steps, which was pretty long, and go knock on the door for candy, not knowing whether or not we had candy. And we had a motion sensing light, so it wasn't like it was on the whole time. Kids were committed back then. Back in my day, these kids were committed to candy, and now I can't even get them to take an M&M that has different fun flavors and sizes. Anyway. All right, enough of this. So basically what they're saying is that it's not gone, but people are doing it in different places. It's just evolving. Keep buying costumes, but apparently don't keep buying candy because you end up with Snickers bars like for another 2 years. But if you're just an average person who doesn't have kids and you're observing your neighborhood, you might see fewer trick-or-treaters than you used to, Banna Teen Time 10 says, because they're going somewhere else. Okay, so anyway, I'm done with this article. This bothers me. Why does this bother me? Let me see if anybody knows why it's bothering me. Yes, because I'm in a saucy mood. No, I mean, it just bothers me because this is like a tradition for kids to go and appropriate candy from the neighborhood. It's also a way to build cohesion in a neighborhood. It's one of those social fabric thingies that's actually really important. And it's important for you and your success, or the lack thereof is important to know that you don't have, that people even in my generation had better. Now, I agree that in the 70s, probably, maybe even in the 80s, there were more locales, more communities that knew each other better. Not mine. I mean, like, we knew each other, but only because it was a small, very, very, very rural area. So, you know, all 100 of us knew each other. Hi, if you're watching this and you're one of my friends from, why are you on? How did you get on this? And what are you doing? They're not there. There's not many of them. Listen, this is not a new phenomenon, but let me tell you a little bit about what this is doing. This is what's going on here is that people are getting more and more centralized. They're getting more and more alienated. So they're not relying or leaning on people in the larger community as much. So to break that down further, if you trick or treat in your apartment building and you only walk around for the Christmas parade in your apartment building, and you really only know the people in your apartment building, your network is your apartment building. So, but people who can afford to live in your apartment building are on equal footing to you for the most part. Now, there's an exception to every rule. There's like 8 of you in this apartment building, and there's one person that can afford the same level of apartment. That person's probably doing better. I'm not saying that they are or not, but maybe. And so that would be a good person to network with, connect with for opportunities. Jobs, internships, references, opportunities, education, interviews for information, all kinds of things. Maybe they have an Xbox One X, the Fallout 76 with the 76ers on it. My Philly people, I actually really want that one, even though it looks kind of stupid. It looks like they just slapped a sticker on to the top and the side. The controller looks really good. The Pip-Boy looks really good on that. And I think it glows in the dark. It's what the article said that I read. I can't trust Boing Boing or Kotaku. That's a shame. Anyway, story for a different day. Different video stream, different live stream. We are losing the ability to reach out to people near us that are at different levels than us, that we can then reach out to for jobs and the things that I just said. So it bothers me because, you know, if I saw you coming to my door from when you were like a really cute kid to a really ugly, like, you know, funky growth, you know, the awkward face, and then grow up into this amazing teenager that you probably are all now. And I saw you every year, and I see your evolution, and you were polite every time and you were nice. And now you're trying to work or something and you come and you want to sell knives. Like, you're like, can you buy some Cutco knives? I'm selling them. I'm trying to get myself to college or whatever. I'm very inclined to let you in. You've been at my door at least 12 times, probably more. And now I like you. Weirdly, like I just have this bond with you because you've been at my door every year. And in turn, you're comfortable with me. If something was going on at your house, but you've come to my house every year and you see me, I'm nice and I give candy and your parents know me and I know your parents and we smile at each other and we're part of this community and something's going on at your house, you could tell me. Or at least you're more likely to, and it's probably going to yield a better result than if you don't know me. You're probably not going to trust me or approach me at all. And I'm probably never going to buy anything from you. And I'm probably not ever going to let you know that I have this amazing connection for you if you just email me, Eric Allen at collegesuccesscoaching.com. I could get you some opportunities for internships, jobs, and other things. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's a problem. It's problematic that we are losing social fabric. And I'm going to get into it a little bit and more in my rant. So just leave it at that. It does bother me, but it's inevitably, you're getting candy. The candy sales are not down. I have a bunch. So we are going to get into what do you do about your candy? And I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can make sure that you do to be productive with your candy. But if you're going to listen to that or see that and you're on YouTube right now, you're going to have to get right off of there and you're going to have to jump over to www.collegesuccesscoaching.com. You can find out how to become a subscribed member. It's a 2-week free trial. It's really not much per week. It really works out for a lot of people. We're helpful. We're having fun. And we're talking about all the things that you don't know about because you're not on there. So hope to see you there. And, like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification there, I think. And if you can't, you really need help because you can't find the bell. So we need to talk for real. Eric Allen at collegesuccesscoaching.com. Find us on Facebook, same place. You can always find us on Twitter at, I think it's CSC or it's just at College Success Coaching. I'll have to double check that. And Instagram, we are at College Success Coaching. And that's all the places you can find us. Come join us. We're having a great time. See you later.